So the broker is going to show you, he or she is going to likely have a standard walk path. That's just what they do, right? You're probably not their first tour. If you are their first tour, they may not have done much to prepare, but most of the time they figured out how they're going to tour you. They've already predetermined what units they're going to show, and they're just going to ask for those keys, most likely from the manager. Now, I always ask, is this typical of what I'm going to see? Right. And they're going to say yes or no, or they'll tell me whatever it is they know. Most of the time, they won't lie to you about that stuff. But what then I'll say is, okay, can I see the worst unit? And then I'll say, I know you don't want to show me the worst unit, but I just want to get a feel for it. You're not going to freak me out. I've been in this business 25 years. I'm not going to freak out. It's not possible to freak me out. I just want to see what's going on, right? I want to see what a classic unit looks like, or a recent move out, right? Try. They may not have one to show. They may just say no because they don't want to show it to you, but it doesn't hurt to try. That way it gives you a pretty good feel for what a unit might look at like if there's a move out. And if they do show you a crappy unit, find out what the situation was when that person left. Were they evicted? Did they leave on their own? Most of the time evicted people that are evicted, they don't leave the units nice. They just don't. So see as many different unit types as the broker will show. Now, if there's 18 different floor plans, you are not touring 18 different floor units, okay? But what you do want to do is get a little bit of a feel for what's going on there. I like to tour, if there's a 1, a 2, and a 3, I'll try to see a 1, 2, and a 3, right? Or if they're, and most of the time in Florida, we don't even have that many vacant to show. So, they'll tell me here's a 2 and this is what the 3s look like. The only things that I really care about are kitchens and baths and things like that. That matters the most to me. So try to see as many different unit types as you can. All right, tour the amenities. Like I said, the broker is going to probably show you all the amenities, but take your time, go wander off by yourself if you have to. Just make sure you see all the laundry rooms, see the, all the stuff, the maintenance, even see the maintenance room, right? It all gives you a feel for how the property is managed and what's going on site. Now, remember when I told you before you got there to get there early and walk, drive the neighborhood, kind of get a little lay of the land yourself. What I like to do then is ask the broker, say, okay, I drove the neighborhood, but can you give me the real tour? Now, sometimes the broker will say, get in my car and I'll drive you around, right? If they're really excited about it, they'll do that. Most brokers won't do that. They'll say, okay, go out of here, turn right, you're going to see this, turn left, you're going to see that. The biggest demand drivers are here. This is where I want you to go, and ask them. They'll give you the lay of the land because they've spent some time trying to figure out where the demand drivers are. If they're a good broker, that they've done that. So if you're prepared at least a little bit when they tell you to turn right, turn left, do you remember that intersection? I mean, you have been there, right? And you're not completely clueless when they send you to one place or another. But use that broker to learn about those demand drivers, because they probably, if they're a large broker, like, the CBREs, the Cushmans, they know those demand drivers. They focus really heavily on those things with good reason. All the while we're doing this, you're continuing to develop a relationship with the broker, right? So I just start asking them questions. I'll even get personal, hey, how long you been with this firm? Where were you before that? How long have you lived in Florida? I know that one of the brokers I work with a lot, he's got a boat. He loves to go boating on the weekends. You're just getting to know these people as people, right? You're just developing relationships. And then it gives you an opportunity to talk about some of the cool things that you do. Take lots of pictures. Now, what I always do is I always turn off my sound on my iPhone. Because there's nothing worse than walking around the property hearing, sounds like the paparazzi's there, right? You don't want to hear that. And I always ask permission. Hey, Mr. Broker, do you mind if I take pictures? You and I will get deal merged. I will forget lots of important things, and I don't want to forget these things. And they'll say, yeah, they always do. And then just take lots and lots of pictures. Because if you don't take those pictures, I guarantee you will forget. Because if you're touring more than one, I've toured as many as 5 or 6 in a day. At the end of the day, man, you're A, exhausted, and B, you can't remember anything because you just can't. All the properties sort of merge together. We call it deal merge. If you like the content that we've shared here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell. So thank you again and have a wonderful day.